What is going on, guys? Rayer Hoffman here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys another Overwatch video. My last video was about competitive mode and how it worked, what it takes to win a game. And it turns out I forgot to mention something that I put in the description of that video, which got me thinking about the topic here today, which is whether or not Overwatch competitive mode is fair. And my opinion is no, and I will be explaining why. Feel free to leave your comments below, agreeing or disagreeing with me. But anyway, this is why I think it is unfair. The first point I'd like to bring up, and a lot of people have been bringing up over the last few weeks, is the coin toss mechanic. And for those of you who don't know, on escort and hybrid maps, if you go into overtime or sudden death, it's called, there's a coin flip to determine which team is attacking or defending, and the attacking team only has to get to the first checkpoint within a minute and 35 seconds or a minute 45, depending on the map. And yeah, that's all they have to do is get to the first checkpoint. And people have been saying that, if you get the attacking side of the coin, then you are most likely going to win the game. And I think that is true, but not nearly as skewed as the community would like to think. I'm pretty sure Blizzard came out with a statement saying that, it's closer than you think, but it's still a little bit skewed. And I'm pretty sure they came out saying that they're getting rid of that in Season 2 completely. The escort and hybrid maps, it's going to be whoever push the payload the furthest in the given amount of time if they haven't captured all three or all the points on the map, all the checkpoints. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I'm glad Blizzard is acknowledging that there's a problem and they're trying to fix it. Then again, it is only the first season, so you got to cut them a little slack here. Anyway, the next topic I'd like to talk about is actually the thing I left out in the video that I made a few days ago, and that is the fact that on escort and hybrid maps, if you successfully defend the first checkpoint or the first payload checkpoint and you get to that point when you're attacking, you don't have to push as far as the first team had to. So let's just say you're playing on Dorado and you're defending, they don't even get a checkpoint, and then now it's your turn to attack. When you push the payload, you won't have to push it as far as that first checkpoint. It's actually a little bit closer. And now this raises the question, if you're attacking the first time and let's just say you're 5 meters away and you don't get it, and then you're defending, and the attacking team gets it to where basically your payload is, but they win the game because they moved up the checkpoint a little closer. And to me, that's definitely not fair. I kind of understand why, if it's to get rid of overtime or sudden death, that means there's less coin flips, which means there's less raging about that mechanic. And I hope they get rid of it with Season 2. If they do get rid of the sudden death mechanic, coin flip mechanic, then that would make sense if they got rid of that as well. But if they don't get rid of that, that could be a serious problem, because basically, let's just say you push it 95 meters and you have to get to 100 meters, but you don't do it, and then the other team pushes 95 meters as well, but since they defended the first point without you getting it, then they win and they push it the same amount of distance. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, that might go away with Season 2 when they get rid of this whole coin flip mechanic. I'm not sure. But right now, I think that is pretty broken and needs to be fixed. Either, sometime this season or next season. Probably next season, because I feel like they would have switched the coin flip mechanic in this season if they felt it was that big of an issue. Anyway, let's get into the next thing I'd like to talk about, which is skill rating. As you know, in competitive Overwatch, or not know, there is no difference between solo queuing and party queuing. Now, I was playing with my friend who is like low to mid 40, and I am a 60, and we were queuing, just having fun, playing some competitive. And here's the thing, there was a lot of people who didn't really care, which was great. We just kind of played. We won majority of our games anyway. But then, in the games that we were losing, obviously the higher level players, or the mid-level players, I guess in this case, were, blaming my friend because he was a lower level. And that made me come to think, like, is this a big deal? And I was like, kind of. Not really so much for us, because we were queuing as a 60-40 group, and the majority of players are in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I want to say at least 60% of the Overwatch community is in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no difference between 40s, 50s, and 60s. There is, but it's different than having a 80-60 pairing, because each skill point is valued more at a high rank than it is at a low rank. because you're battling with the same players most of the time, and you're playing with the best of the best in competitive mode. It's hard to get that skill point, and 86 versus 85 is probably a big deal as compared to the 40s, 50s, and 60s when there's a lot of players, and there's a lot of moving around in the ladder because you're getting placed with average players. And obviously when you have a higher skill rating, you're playing with the best of the best, so it's a lot harder to move up and down the skill ladder. And I don't think forcing parties with big skill gaps to play quick play is the answer. For me, there's nothing more satisfying than beating a team that I know is trying the hardest. And if you're playing with your friends, it's that much more satisfying because you're all doing it together. What Blizzard could do is add a party and solo rank instead of just having one universal rank, but then that deteriorates the value of a party rank, because let's just say you play with your friends a lot and you have a decent party rank but your solo rank is pretty low. People might take a look at your solo rank and be like, wow, you just got carried a lot, but that might not be the case because you just play a lot with your friends and you'd rather play with your friends than by yourself. So this may not be a good solution. The only other solution that I can come up with is have a skill gap limit. So let's just say it's 10, so you can't play with anyone higher than 10 ranks than you or lower than 10 ranks than you. I'm not really sure if that would work either, if that would fix anything, but that's just another solution that we could try, I guess. Anyway, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to touch on. If you think of anything else that I've missed or you want to comment on what I've already said, please leave a comment below. Also, I have a Twitch channel that I'll leave a link to down below as well. I don't really have a fixed schedule at the moment, but I'd like to get one as soon as possible. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.